Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Oh, politics is just a hot mess. But I'm not going to be talking about well, I'm going to sneak it in a little bit with the topic. But remember, my YouTube channel is as messy as my life, of course. So, okay. I know a lot of people kind of wonder what my channel is about. It's anything and everything, especially when it comes to politics, dating relations, and men, and masculinity, femininity, and the construction and destruction of both of them, the stereotyping of so many different demographics, and what makes a villain, what makes a hero, how so things that go along with storytelling, because a lot of politics are in storytelling. But then it's so crazy how many book talkers are so poorly educated and just plain dumb, in my opinion, because they're like, books have nothing to do with politics. Whew, whew, whew. I want to know what high school or college. Oh my gosh, if they made it to college. I want to know which one they went to have that conclusion. And I want to know what their major was. Yeah, I really do. I hope it wasn't English. I really hope it wasn't English. But, okay. I watched this video about rejecting or turning down men, and it's a whole collage of videos from different perspectives. And so I'm probably going to bring this video up like I do some other videos, because this one had so many that just had red flags. And as an older woman, which is another purpose of my videos, since I am of a certain age, I have lived through a lot, especially being undiagnosed with my disability, and then being a Black person, being a woman. I have been through things so many other people don't know, they don't care to know, or they laugh at other people for going through things that they will never have to go through because of their privilege, and or they're just racist bigots, no good, hating, awful, terrible, poorly educated types. You know those types. In summary, we kind of call them MAGA, but yeah, you know those types. But yeah, we're going to be talking about rejection and some of the things that I've heard some people do where I'm just like, no. It's like, if you think you can do it in a safe manner, I get, because nowadays you have to be so careful. And I have been in situations where men don't take no, they won't. I've had men, even at a grocery store parking lot, they followed me to my car, and then they got behind my car. They would not leave until I agreed to give them my number. Because usually I say, oh no, you give me your number. So then I would type it in, and then I would try to make sure I talked to them while walking away, so to distract them, to make sure they didn't say, yeah, message me now. That worked for quite a good while, until men realize, no, I'm not going to allow the woman to have any other conversation until I get a message from her. So yeah, that messed it up, because this is just from my perspective, but some men are going to some men don't understand that with history, with generation after generation, men have played women for so long, but then they think women are just supposed to be so dumb, or play dumb, or ignore it, and or be like that one woman. I forgot the episode, but it's like on some podcast. Oh, I ironed his clothes so then he can go cheat on me. Heck no, what? Ha ha ha. If a man ever tried that on me, oh, I would set the iron on his clothes. And I mean, I'll maybe not walk away, but maybe read a book and watch it. I'm not going to iron his clothes and help him cheat on me. No, they can do that on their own. If that's what they want to do as their little hobby, they can do that on their own. And it's really disgusting how a lot of men, they get a woman and then they keep saying how good of a woman she is, but then they do as many horrible, awful, terrible, disgusting things as they can. But they, every time the woman's about to leave, you can't leave me. I can't be without you. You can't do this. You can't do that. Or the opposite, they love bomb and do all this other stuff for the woman, but then they want something new. They always like a new outfit. They always want the new outfit. So then they drop the woman, then she's broken heart, and then she tries to call and see what's going on. Why are you leaving me? And then the man says she's crazy. No, you're a dirtbag. No, you're a jerk. But then jerks keep telling all their boys how she's crazy. And then some men obligate women too, telling them you have to go out with me. No one else is going to want you. You're not that pretty. You're not that smart. You're not that amazing. Who else is going to want you? If they've had daddy issues, ladies, do not tell these men your family issues because they will turn around and pull them against you to gaslight you, to trap you. They've done it to me. I know this as a fact. They will do it like just as quickly as they can. And also, a lot of these men are so immature, they don't even think that sometimes a woman might be single and she might have a right to say, she always has a right to say no. But not only that, but the man is coming up showing signs of why she would never say yes in the first place. If you smoke and you smell like it, or if she saw you doing that in the parking lot or wherever you are, that's a no. If she was nearby and heard some of your conversations and she was disgusted or didn't like what you were talking about, guess what? That's a no. If she notices that you have a wedding ring on, yes, I've had quite a few married men come up to me. Yeah, I didn't spot it at first. Like when I was younger, it's like I was just like, oh, he's sweet, he's nice. But then now it's like one of the first things I look at is a man's left hand ring finger. That's one of the first things. Because there was I'll tell the police out, because yeah, those years ago, I was still in politics, but this is before I had the racism within the police. So I still had some faith in police. But yeah, there was a married cop, and I didn't know he was married. And he even invited me over and made me dinner. And I'll tell that whole story and everything. But so many men tell women that we are obligated to give them a chance and we have to at least acknowledge them or whatever. But with some of us women, we've learned, and with some of our standards, like I created a list of standards based off of how men hate me. It's like because at first I was questioning the COVID vaccination. But I was like, if we differ in opinion on that, that's okay. I was like, I won't have kids with him. I won't marry him. I'll adopt and foster on my own. But because, yeah, I think future, I think ahead. But next thing I know, one unvaccinated man after one unvaccinated man kept telling me that I was stupid, dumb, ignorant, and or some even said I should pass away because I'm vaccinated. Some, which if I can find the screenshot, they said, "Oh, you're going to get a blood clot and pass away. You're going to be gone by 2028." Those are two different messages. I have so many. I need to dig through them all, but this is dating. Yeah, these are men. It's disgusting and awful and terrible. And so when it comes to dating, not everyone's going to like you. Just because you are attracted to someone, even if it's man, man, woman, woman. I know of some who it's like two feminine looking women are attracted to each other. That's not always the case because, like, yeah, even when it comes to LGBTQ, you never know their type. You never know, like, you know. And so sometimes when they get rejected, it's like it's the same thing, but we have to be mature about it. We do. But watching this video, it was really scary listening to all of the stories and then reminding me of some of the things I went through. Because, like I said, that guy, I mean, and when I said he was like behind me, he jumped up and sat on my car. And part of me was thinking, okay, start the car and go backwards, and then it's like, but then I was gonna kind of go really quickly back into the parking spot to kind of get him off. But then I was nervous because I'm like, okay, if I press it too hard, I don't want to damage my car, and he might try to sue me, even though he's pestering me. He won't leave me alone. I asked him so many times. I even asked the grocery store security to like that assist me, but they laughed it off like, oh, well, you're a beautiful lady. I can't blame him. That was their response. You're a beautiful young lady. I can't blame him. So I was on my own. I was at a point where I I fell asleep, well, I didn't fall asleep, but I leaned back in my car and made sure my sun visor, whatever, and I just laid down because I'm just like, okay, we're gonna play this game. You're going to try to force me to give you my phone number, and now I'm kind of stuck or trapped in my car, and no one will help me or assist me. Okay. Huh. Because another reason is, okay, if I give him the number, he might get into his car, but since I'm in my car, he might decide to follow me home. Then he's going to know where I live. So then if I ignore his phone calls, because I've had this happen before when I worked promotions. I was done with a shift, and there was this one guy. He kept, coming back to the table, chatting, even leaving and coming back, talking to me. And next thing I know, I'm done with the promo. I'm packing up, doing my inventory count, stuff like that. Get into my car and drive home. And I recognized, I think it was a red car, I want to say, like in the parking lot. And while I was driving, I saw the red car. And when I got close to my house, I saw the red car. And so I'm trying to remember where I ended up going. Because I think the library was going to be open for 2 or 3 more hours. So I think that's where I ended up going. And I'm so glad that I recognized, because it was him. Because even when I parked my car, he tried to park far enough away to think that I didn't notice. But then when I got out of my car, I walked to his car. Because I'm just like, oh, if he's going to try anything, then he's going to have to really try something. And yes, like I know my parents will be like, what in the world did you just do? Whatever, too late, whatever. Keep going. But yeah, that was another horrific time. And so there's one young lady, I think it's around 8 minutes into the video. She says, no matter what, give the guy your number. Be so sweet and kind and lovely, but give the guy your number. And I get it. It's like in my state, Michigan, in Detroit, a woman was eliminated from this earth when she declined a guy, when she refused to give her number to a guy. I know it's rough out here. It's like all of my examples are in Michigan. I've had it happen in other states too, but the ones that hit home the hardest are the ones at home. Mhm. But okay, here is, well, I think hers was around, yeah, I think hers was 6 or 7 or maybe eight. Yeah, it's like there's so many examples, but I remember there was a story at the 6 minute mark and around the 8 minute mark that really hit. And I didn't even finish the whole video. So knowing me, there's going to be a part two. But okay, when this woman said, no matter what, give him your number. No. And it's so sad how Men are so upset if a woman declines them, but then they can't be. I know it takes around 27 years for men to mature, but guys, it's one woman who is saying no. And maybe she saw the red flags. Maybe she saw that you were not going to be mature enough. Maybe she saw you wouldn't be the type of man she would ever want to be around because you can't even handle a no. You can't even handle rejection. When women, especially with either employment and so many other things in our life, we have to handle rejection and being dismissed and being belittled on a daily basis. Maybe that's why so many of us women are more mature and we can handle more and we're not and they you guys say we're emotional, but I think we are able to communicate our emotions a lot better because a lot of men aren't. Because when men get rejected, instead of being able to communicate that with their friends after, like, and leave in a peaceful manner, they decide to yell at the woman. They decide to belittle her and try to lower her self esteem so that they can try to lift their ego so that they don't feel embarrassed when it's just one woman. Just one woman. And again, you don't know the woman's type. It's like, I don't care about height or size or whatever, but a lot of women do. And a lot of women laugh at me because I don't. But maybe you're not tall enough. Sorry, boo boo, you can't help that, but maybe that's it. And it's like, I I have certain standards that I go by, but mine, I would have to find that out or figure that out. But I mean, there is a look that I prefer. Yes. And so if a guy who comes to me and they don't look it, I should be able to say no. And it's great, like, because I've even had men on dating apps tell me, if a man writes you, you have to write him back. And or if a man asks you out, you have to go out with him. So you can be attracted to me, but I don't have to be attracted to you, but then I still have to go out with you because you're attracted to me? That's disgusting and unfair. It's like, even when I just saw, okay, I'm gonna see if I can find the video again. But I just saw a video where this Republican MAGA man was saying that in order to have children, men have to finish. Or you know what I mean by finish. Wink wink, hint hint. But women don't. So women finishing is not important. Women finishing is not a value. I'm not quoting, but this, like, literally, this is what he was saying. And this is how some men feel. It's like men only care about what they get. And they only want to get from the woman. And some men, they think that women only want to get. And don't get me wrong, some might, like, especially with the dinners and everything. Hey, do you, boo? That's not me. And this is one reason why I try to go Dutch, because a lot of times with that dinner, men feel like if I buy you dinner, then I am owed bedroom minutes or whatever. Nah, nah, bro. That's not how it works. So, and then when I say I'm going Dutch, a lot, it's like, this really helps me because, okay, ladies, tell a man you're going Dutch and see how he reacts. Or if he doesn't know what it means, let him, look it up on a search engine. But that means you'll pay for your meal, he'll pay for his. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because it's kind of funny how many times men tell me never mind once I say I'm going Dutch. But okay, the quick story, yeah, because I'm gonna have to do the really, really quick versions, but I'm gonna tell the whole story in another episode, of course, because I'm me. But with the woman who said, just give them your number no matter what. Be extra nice and kind and stuff. No, because even though you block that number, does not mean that's the only phone number he has. Because, oh yeah, I'm not even going to say that story. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to say two quick stories. Because with Mr. Lockakey, he ended up getting a second number. And when I broke up with him, I blocked the one number. I didn't know of the other. And so then he communicated with me. He kept calling with the other. So when I was working at the drug and alcohol testing facility, yeah, the phone would be going off all the time. And I would try and I would block it, but then he would go to his cousins and his brothers' phones and call me up. And like I'm saying this because there was one time when I'm trying to remember which job I was working, but a guy asked me for my number and I did not want anything to do with him. But I thought, ooh, I can block his number now. Easy. That's great. And I didn't know how many men had figured this out, but, or not, and I'm not going to say like they're dumb, but I just feel like, okay, if you find out the woman blocked you, then figure out that the woman's not interested in you. And just take it as a loss, and at least she was polite to you, and she did like a kind rejection. She accepted it in public so that people can think you got the number. But I mean, just take it as what it is. But a lot of men don't want to do that whatsoever. And, but then it makes a lot of sense because when it comes to security, when it comes to even when women get married to a man and then she finds out how awful and terrible and brutal he can be, so then she tries to leave him. The most dangerous time is when she tries to leave. And so the safest way to leave is to not tell him you're leaving. A lot of men cannot take rejection. They refuse. And a lot of men will wear a mask and pretend they are the nicest, most wonderful, amazing man in the world until they have you, captured you, trapped you, cornered you, deceived you in order to have, yeah, in order to have you. And then after that, the monster comes out. Because, yeah, after, like, while I was working this promo, this guy was just like, yeah, you have to take my number and I have to get yours. And it's, there's no knows about it, or there's no but this or excuses or whatever. And it was to a point where it was really uncomfortable because even with my coworkers, they were just like, oh, you can't turn them down now. You have to give them a chance. Because, yeah, some men, they're going to do this whole big, like, not love bombing, but just performance to the point where everyone around is now cheering him on, to the point where if I reject him, I look like the villain. I look like the bad guy. So now everyone's telling me that I have to say yes because of his performance. And that's one reason why it's like, I don't think I ever want to get married. And it's like, I already knew this, or there's several reasons, but another is the whole engagement thing. I don't want a performance. I don't. It's like I would want something from the heart and not just word salad. Because 50% of marriages end up in divorce. And for many reasons, but a lot of times it's in the vows that they break or mess up, or a lot of men, well, when you watch divorce court, what is the percentage of men who say it's because, drum roll please, they don't get enough bow chicka wow wow. Yeah. They don't get enough pleasure. But then the woman's telling him what they need to do in order to get that, or what's missing in the house, or the financial situations and the emotional imbalance and stuff like that. But then a lot of the men who do not care, I'm not saying all, I'm saying most, that they keep just saying, well, you don't provide me the sexual relations that I require. And so either they don't get any and then he goes and cheats, or then he goes and starts maybe another habit or something to take up that time, which messes up the tip top of what was messing up the relationship in at the beginning. So, but okay, when I rejected this guy, because that night gave me his number, and I remember driving home and he texted me quite a few times already, which I'm just like, guy, come on, no, no. And so when I got home, it's like, because it was late, so my first goal was get home safe. And so I blocked his number and I thought everything was cool. It was not cool, because for, I think it was about a year and a half, 2 years. Throughout that year, he would give his family member my number and tell them to text me and call me, and put him on speaker or turn the speaker on, so that, because I was job hunting at the same time, so I never knew, especially Michigan numbers, with Michigan jobs, I couldn't tell which one was which, whatever. And so I was like, sometimes like my phone will say if it's spam or if it was a larger company or whatever, it might identify. But a lot of the smaller businesses that I applied for, it wouldn't do that, especially when the owners use their personal phones. So I had to answer. And there were some times where I just cringed because I'm just like, oh my gosh, it might be another one of those stupid phone calls again from his family members. And I'm just going to list off some of the things he would say. Hey, you no good, stupid B word. You walk like a cripple, so you should be excited and happy that you got someone like me. You better be desperate to have a guy like me. Who in the blank do you think you are? You're not all that. You no good, stupid piece of. And it's like, you're light skinned, no good. I know your daddy went and slept with the blah, blah, blah. And that is like, I know that's, it's like, or, yeah, because he said it both ways. Either my dad cheated or my mom cheated or whatever. So, yeah, because I remember while working at the promo, he was like, oh, you one of those pretty mixed ones. And I'm like, I'm not mixed. And he was just like, oh, baby girl. I was like, I'm sorry to break this to you, but you're mixed. He was like, I don't know which one of your parents lied to you. And I just remember, like, since I was working and I didn't want to get written up, I'm just like, no, I'm sure I'm not mixed. It's like, but yeah, okay, drop the subject. So yeah, several phone calls was about that. And or it's like he started looking me up online, especially with Facebook. I had to block him on Facebook because sometimes he would write me and call me terrible things in some of my posts. But yeah, you shouldn't have to give someone your number. You shouldn't have to. That should be your option. That should be your choice. Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.